Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results as well as your WWE main event. Birthdays for this week. The results are for the August 19, 2019 Raw. You got birthdays August 18th, Tom Pritchard, 1959, Lillian Garcia, 1966, and Velveteen Dream, 1995 for the 19th. Lillian Garcia's birthday is also the 19th. It was reported earlier this week that Memphis wrestling legend Eddie Marlin passed away at the age of 89 after being moved to a hospice care due to multiple organ failure. He is the father-in-law of Jerry Jarrett and the grandfather of Double J, Jeff Jarrett. That's J-E, double F, J-A, double R-E, double T. In a post on Twitter, Jeff paid tribute to his grandfather at this link. He wrote, "Today we laid to rest my grandfather, Eddie Marlin. Grandfathers and grandsons often work together, but in pro wrestling, it's rare to actually have a match where your partner is your grandfather. I was 19 years old and Pops was 56 when we tagged at the fairgrounds. Love you, Pops." At Real Jeff Jarrett today. It's just I copied it just like it said on his tweet there, so you can go to the link and see the actual picture. Rusev, who has not been on WWE TV in over 2 months, has a new look. Side edition. Rusev and Lana contracts are up soon. As of right now, they have not decided to re-sign with WWE as of yet. Braun Strowman reveals what happened backstage after Brock Lesnar punched him in the head for real. Braun Strowman recently spoke to TalkSport about what the vibe was like backstage after the match, and he noted that he and Brock had a nice laugh afterwards. Quoted by saying, "We laughed about it afterwards. It is what it is. We got to the back and I said, 'Hey, my bad.' He said the same thing when we went about our business. We're both grown-ups. We both knew what we were getting into. And at the end of the day, we're both very dominant males and neither of us wanted to give in an inch. So in the end, we took an inch from each other." The monster among men went on to say that he always approaches matches involving Brock Lesnar as if they were a real fight. Working with Brock, quoted again, "I go in with a mentality that it's a real fight. You have to. I remember Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. I got a little ants in my pants. So did he. And we threw some heavy hitters at each other and carried on from there. Let's face it, Brock's one of the baddest human beings on the planet, and I enjoy it. I like the physical aspect of it. I didn't get into this thing. It was a water polo or tennis or anything like that. I knew this was a full contact sport, and when you're in the ring with Brock Lesnar, and it is full contact, ask anybody that's worked with him. Brock brings a big fight, and that's why people pay money to see him." Unquote. Thanks Pro Wrestling and MMA World for those notes for that. The King of the Ring tournament kicked off this week's Raw with Cedric Alexander defeating Sami Zayne and Samoa Joe defeating Cesaro in a first round match. And here is the aftermatch of the footage of Sami Zayn throwing a fit after his loss and being eliminated from the tournament. And it involves a fan in the audience as well. Officials had to hold him back before he finally took a few minutes and went to the back. It was officially announced that WWE NXT will be airing on the USA Network on Wednesday, September 18th. The show will air each week from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time. Live from Full Sail on the campus of Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. I've been to Winter Park, Florida myself in a bowling tournament years ago for Team USA qualification. I finished 17th when they only took 16. Well, previously, and that was for bowling, by the way, previously reported, WWE NXT show will now air on a 24-hour tape delay on the WWE Network. The episode will air each Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the WWE Network. Beginning of September 18th, No word yet on if the weekly NXT UK show will be moved to Thursdays on the network. And by the way, it is a 2-hour show on Wednesday night on TV. NXT issued an email alert to ticket holders and confirmed that the September 11th and September 12th tapings scheduled for the Full Sail Live are now canceled. They are giving fans the opportunity to transfer their September 11th tickets to the debut live USA Network episode on Wednesday, September 18th. Fans with tickets for September 12th can transfer them to September 25th USA Network episode. Weekly time for NXT events, the Full Sail, now 7:30, indicating that there will be the weekly pre-show dark match. Live SmackDown episode will take up to 2 of the 3 hours, but there's no official word on yet what the third hour will be. One could assume that the third hour would be for the weekly 205 Live episode, but there's been talk of 205 Live being canceled, which becomes what some see is a failed experiment. Well, they drop titles and what have you for 205 Live and Cruiserweight Division Championships, if that was the case. Now, over the past few weeks, a Captain Challenge 10-man tag team match has been picked up steam on Twitter. Drew Gulak and Oni Lorcan are the captains. They have been going back and forth on Twitter, selecting guys for their teams. They made their final selections on Monday, and here's the final lineup for the match. Team Lorcan, Oni Lorcan, Jack Gallagher, Akira Tozawa, Humberto Carrillo, and Isaiah Scott. Team Gulak, Drew Gulak, Ari Daivari, Mike Kanellis, Angel Garza, and Tony Nese. The former WCW and TNA wrestler Dafney shared some news on her social media account regarding a medical issue that she's dealing with. You can see her Instagram post at this link and read her full statement below. According to Dafney, a cyst or growth was discovered next to her T1 after she was starting to feel some pain and numbness in her arm. Some of you know that I had neck surgery 2.5 years ago. They put a metal plate between my C4 and C5. Recently, I noticed my fingers on my left hand going numb again, especially my thumb. I feel for you, Miss Daphne. My wrist and forearm began to hurt. My temple, neck, collarbone, and trap were next. And then finally, my shoulder felt like it was being ripped out of the socket. If I didn't keep my arm cradled, just like 2.5 years ago. By Thursday night, it had gotten so bad, I decided I needed to go get it checked out the next day. Good news, I haven't hurt another disc in my neck. Bad news, they found the cyst or growth next to my T1. They gave me steroids and anti-inflammatories, and I've been keeping my left arm propped up. It's weird because my middle finger especially hurts this time. Almost like it's broken, so it sticks up. I'm constantly giving Dina, my roomie, the bird. Recently, which she totally doesn't deserve because she just made me some amazing grits and has been a guardian angel. In the morning, I made an appointment with a spinal specialist to find out what is next to my T1 and what is causing the pain. I'll keep you updated. Just wanted to explain my absence and request good juju, please. Congratulations to DDP on becoming a grandfather. And this link. Picture. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also got married. His longtime girlfriend, Lauren Hashian, yesterday at a ceremony in Hawaii on Sunday. Johnson revealed the surprise news via a post on his social media, posting 2 photos and the words, "We do, August 18th, 2019, Hawaii. Hamakai, meaning blessed." In just 5 hours, his post was liked over 8 million people on Instagram. This is the second marriage for Johnson and the first for Hashian. Rock married his first wife, Danny Garcia, in 1997, a marriage that lasted 10 years. The two have 1 daughter together, Simone. was now 18. Danny remains his business partner, and the two built the $7 promotion empire together and remain close friends. Johnson and Hessian, 34 years old, have two children together, Jasmine and Tiana. And go to that link. The two met in 2007 while Johnson was filming his movie, The Game Plan, and remained together ever since. Trish Stratus had taken to Instagram to comment on her final match against Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam. Controversy there because when I talked to her live at Shreveport Geekdcon, she said total opposite, not her last match. Stratus shared a photo of herself from the match and said in the caption that it was supposed to be her comeback match at first, but didn't realize it would be her chance to pass the torch. Stratus praised Charlotte Flair and the rest of the roster, calling Flair one of the very best of her era. A total pro, she said that the current women's roster represent everything we, the women of her era, dreamed of. If we laid the platform, you all have built a friggin' skyscraper, and we all couldn't be prouder. I spoke with her in person on Saturday afternoon after I got off work. I rushed home and got my charger for my cell phone before it died and charged it up on my way to GeekCon. Took pictures with it and show you here as well. And I asked her one question as a closing event down. I know she's got at least one more match in her. Could it possibly be against Ronda Rousey? And she confirmed that it's very possible. If you don't believe me, I mentioned on Twitter the same thing. And again, show you a picture of Trish as well as Kevin Nash right behind me. I was taking a selfie. He was right behind me walking. As when I took the picture, he turned his head. So all you got to see is the back of his head. Also, Kevin Nash in the pictures. We also talked about, as I was walking up, he was talking with his buddy, unknown name, and they were talking about the NWO storyline, and he definitely confirmed that it was Hogan that did not like the idea of NWO taking over the company, so they stopped that storyline. And that question and answer, I basically asked him if he was to come back to wrestling. He said he's got an itch in his pants to definitely do that. And another fan had asked him a question for one video, and the guy asked him this question: Since you are now at Shreveport GeekCon 2019, was it worth it? Well, Kevin did the Undertaker thing, rolled his eyes in his forehead. It's like, did you really just ask me that? Or the Booker T? Tell me you just didn't say that. And he said, of course. And again, he did confirm the same story that Buff Bagwell said whenever I did the video as well in his wrestling comeback at Shreveport World of Wheels. Doing that. Moving on, former WWE Divas champion AJ Lee will be one of the writers for the upcoming Glow season. And it's a Glow versus the Babyface comic book. Not season, but along with Lucifer and Dexter actress Amy Garcia. A huge fan of the Netflix series, Amy and I are thrilled and honored to get our hands on the ladies of Glow. AJ said, Amy's experience in acting and my experience in pro wrestling makes us a formidable tag team with a unique perspective to truly channel the voices of these hilarious heroines. Our mission as writing partners is to represent diverse, complex, and unbreakable female characters, which is why Glow feels like the perfect fit. And I think they're going into their third season. Garcia added, I'm a huge fan of Glow. I grew up reading comics and never saw myself represented in them. I'm so excited to explore these trailblazing characters and create the change for the next generation. AJ and I are basically writing for our younger selves. The 4-part Glow versus Babyface will launch in November and will be published by IDW Publishing. The synopsis for the comic book reads, a news anchor who's determined to convince everyone who will listen that wrestling can and will corrupt the youth of America. But even as they're struggling to convince everyone else and themselves that they're not a bad influence on children, they find themselves responsible for a preteen runaway who's been living under the ring. And you can see the covers of the first issue of this thing, drawn by Veronica Fish, Nicole Gal, or Go, if you're in New Orleans, it's pronounced Go, or in Louisiana, and Catherine Noted. Go to that link. Comments from Brad Shepard, according to a source in WWE, bits and pieces of Raw, currently being rewritten. Also been talk of NXT talent appearing on the main roster, TV soon to build hype. It was reported last week that Street Profits lost NXT Tag Team titles to the Undisputed Era during NXT tapings at Full Sail University. This led to some believe that the team were set to go to the main roster, since they had already been making appearances backstage on Raw. However, Dave Meltzer reported that the Profits are expected to remain on NXT for the foreseeable future. Nothing about the current situation has changed. They will continue to wrestle on NXT and make non-wrestling appearances on Raw. Here's footage of Undisputed Era defeating the Street Profits, and Facebook link. And thanks to Christian Knuckles Machado for that news. Also, Brad Shepard saying, after reading this, a source in Toby Callisto has had low-key heat with all the right people for a while now. He can't seem to keep his mouth shut. Hashtag bad lucha thing. Braun Strowman also tweeted, adios. Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper, is now making her WOW announcement. Promo puts existing WOW superheroes on notice. Watch and share, which I don't think I got the link for that. No, I do apologize for that. Thanks to the news from Los Angeles, California, August 17, 2019. Jeannie Buss, owner of groundbreaking all-female wrestling promotion WOW, Women of Wrestling, announced that Teal Piper, daughter of beloved pro wrestling trailblazer Rowdy Roddy Piper, is the newest superhero to join WOW's expanding roster. Piper will make her professional wrestling debut for WOW at its September 18th and 19th live events in Los Angeles at the Belasco's Theater, following in the footsteps of fellow wrestling legacy and current WOW champion Tessa Blanchard, who signed with the promotion in 2018. Piper expects to make her mark by delivering bombastic promo skills that not only resembles her father's famous persona, but will surely create a new generation of Piper fans. As a talented daughter of the man Ric Flair once called the most gifted entertainer in the history of pro wrestling, Piper knows what it takes to put on an unforgettable show. As an actress, she appeared alongside her father in films such as The Portal and Lights Out. She is also a singer-songwriter with an album set to drop very soon. In 2016, Piper and her brother, Colt Tunes Piper, completed their father's unfinished autobiography, Rowdy, the Roddy Piper story, which he had begun writing shortly before his death. To prepare for her first foray into WOW women's competitive ranks, Piper is honing her skills inside the Square Circle at WOW Training Center in Long Beach, California, under the guidance of head trainer Selena Majors. Wrestling has been a part of me. A while no one can replace my dad. I hope to make sure no one ever forgets him, said Piper. WOW is proud to welcome Teal on board as the newest member of our family of superheroes. Buss said her father, Roddy, left an indelible mark not only on wrestling, but on countless fans across the world. His spirit is alive and well within her, and the drive she has showing her training sessions has been truly incredible to watch. Wild was honored to join Teal on her journey, and she paid tribute to Roddy's legacy while blazing a new trail that is entirely her own. Wild Women Wrestling returns for its second season, a new night and time, premiering Saturday, September 7th at 8 p.m. only on Access TV. The expanded upcoming 24-episode season finds the trailblazing promotion back with a vengeance as a slate of new heroes, superheroes, and returning superstars vie to try Wild's coveted crown from reigning champion Tessa Blanchard and an intense trailblazing promotion back with a vengeance. As a slate of new superheroes and returning superstars vie to pride, and the tournament is announced to crown the new WoW Tag Team Champions. WoW innovator David McClain and Stephen Dickey will be on hand to provide analysts and commentary. Fans can relive all the hard-hitting action on blockbuster and the blockbuster drama of Season 1 on a special encore event featuring each complete episode from WoW's inaugural campaign, airing every Saturday night at 8 p.m., leading up to the highly anticipated Season 2 premiere, which I just recently seen 3 more replays on over the weekend myself of WoW Season 1. WoW live event tapings are set for September 18th and 19th, downtown Los Angeles at the famed Belasco Theater. Access TV will record all of the WoW action for the channel's hit series, and tickets are still available to the tapings. More info about WoW and superheroes and how to secure tickets to live events, visit the WoW website. Of course, it's WWE.com. Ryan Satin on Twitter, at Ryan Satin, according to sources, Vince McMahon is not at Raw or SmackDown tapings this week, at least from Raw in Minnesota. I'm told Triple H, while him and Kevin Dunn are doing the storylines and what have you. Apparently, Heyman sat at the main table with Levesque and Dunn during the production meeting, which isn't the norm. WWE has reportedly filed for a new trademark, Shorty G. Yeah, really. For Chad Gable, who is said to be getting a new name change. Main event. Match results from St. Paul, Minnesota prior to Raw. Danny Brooke defeated Sarah Logan. Robert Roode defeated Eric Young. Robert Roode and Eric Young. Looks like they are forming the Canadian tag team from Impact Wrestling, and they defeated Lucha House Party. Thanks to the source Wrestling Inc. Raw opened up from the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Michael Coleslaw welcomes us to the show, and Corey Graves is not there, and neither is Carmella this week. He's joined in by Renee Young and Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, who only was there for the first segment. According to Michael Cole, who said that Corey's on vacation. We go right to the ring. Out comes Roman Reigns to a pop. Coleslaw leads us to the video package leading up to recent happenings and attacks from Reigns. Dolph Ziggler versus Roman Reigns is up first. Music hits, and out comes Dolph Ziggler as Roman Reigns waits on him. Ziggler takes the mic and says he wanted to tell Reigns face to face. He's not some Twitter keyboard warrior. He wants to face Reigns like a man, but he's glad that Reigns is okay. Ziggler says he just doesn't get why Reigns gets all this attention for accidents almost happening to him. Meanwhile, Ziggler is interrupted by a "You Suck" chant. Ziggler says he doesn't suck. He's trying to be the bigger man here, so the crowd needs to shut up. Ziggler says Reigns was almost hit by a lightning rig, but that's nothing compared to the spears he took from WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. Fan chat for Goldberg, and Ziggler doesn't like it. Ziggler goes on ranting about how bad last week was and how it should be me once again. Ziggler keeps on talking and suddenly drops Reigns in the middle of the ring with a super kick. Referee backs Ziggler off and checks on Reigns, who is still down. Fan chant, "You still suck," at Ziggler as he bounces around the ring and taunts Reigns, ready for a fight, who was slow to recover. Fans chant for Goldberg again. Bell rings. Reigns dodges another super kick and knocks Ziggler out of the ring with a big right hand. They end up on the outside. Ziggler drops Reigns with a zigzag. We go to commercial with Reigns down on the floor as Ziggler stands over him. Back from the break, Ziggler goes to work on Reigns in the ring, taking his time as fans boo. Ziggler charges in the corner, but Reigns backdrops him to the floor. Reigns keeps control with a drive-by. Reigns brings it back into the ring and hits a big right hand off the ropes. After ducking a clothesline, Reigns plays to the crowd for a big pop. Reigns then unloads in the corner with a clothesline. A couple of clotheslines as fans count along. Reigns hits the ropes and levels Ziggler with a big boot. Reigns waits in the corner, goes for the Superman punch, but Ziggler ducks it and rolls him up for a close 2 count. They tangle again and Ziggler nails a big DDT for another close pin attempt. Fans are rallying for Reigns as they both work to get back to their feet. Reigns blocks another zigzag. Ziggler dodges a spear and rolls Reigns up for a 2 count. Reigns blocks a famouser. Ziggler slides out of a powerbomb attempt. Reigns charges in the corner, but Ziggler moves and hits the ring post. Ziggler follows up with a zigzag for a very close 2 count. Ziggler cranks up with a sweet chin music in the corner as Reigns is slow to get to his feet. Reigns catches the kick and delivers a big Superman punch, but Ziggler kicks out just in time. Reigns can't believe it. The referee insists it was a kick out. Reigns gets hyped up in the corner, calling for the end. Ziggler dodges a spear, nails the famouser for a close 2 count of his own. Ziggler shows frustration. Ziggler works Reigns over in the corner as the referee warns him. Ziggler turns and goes back to Reigns in the corner, but Reigns comes flying out of the corner with a big spear, and then Reigns covers Ziggler for the pin and win. After the match, Reigns recovers as his music plays, and Reigns stands tall. Still to come segment, AJ Styles defends against Braun Strowman. Also, the beginning of the 2019 King of the Ring tournament, and Sasha Banks on the King court with Jerry the King Lawler. Back to commercial. Back to the break, we see pre-recorded video of Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Lynch addresses last week's attack by Sasha Banks and says she wants the best, most aggressive version of everyone who comes for her title. She wants everyone at their peak, and that's what Banks is at the moment. But she can thank the man for that. Lynch says Banks ran away crying months ago. Her career, cold as ice, but she was hot when she returned last week. But what did Banks do on her 4-month hiatus to make herself so hot? Nothing, according to Becky. Becky said it only took her a few press interviews to make Banks what she couldn't do herself, the hottest thing in 2019. Lynch says Banks is the greatest woman on the roster to never be great. Lynch knows Banks is listening and says she can swing her chairs, she can wear her dollar store glasses. But Lynch put in more work in getting Banks to end WWE than Banks did. She goes on and says, why did it take Lynch to unleash the real Banks? Lynch says when she catches Banks in the cat and mouse game, she's going to really give her something to run home and cry about. Then we go to the ring and we get Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler in the ring for the return of King's Court. Lawler welcomes us and gets a pop. Lawler says, from the look of what we just saw, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will be out for some revenge on his guest, Sasha Banks. Lawler stops to plug the return of the King of the Ring tournament before bringing in his guest out. Lawler talks about the King of the Ring being one of his favorite events and how WWE Hall of Famers have used it as a launching post, such as Bret Hart, Steve Austin, and Brock Lesnar as well. Lawler goes on and shows us the King of the Ring bracket on the big screen. Lawler predicts that the Raw side will come down to Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, who don't have a match this week. SmackDown side, the familiar sound starts off. Lights flash. Lawler says she knows where this is headed. He starts heading to the back. Spotlight shines on Lawler on the stage, and the strange sounds continue. We see The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, standing behind Lawler on the stage. The Fiend attacks and brings Lawler down with a mandible claw. Wyatt stands tall as he laughs. His laugh echoes across the arena. Lights come back on and Lawler is laid out on the stage. Wyatt's gone. Officials come out to check on Lawler as a yowie wowie chant starts up from the crowd. We're going to commercial. Back for the break, we see what just happened to Jerry Lawler. Kozol's heads. The King is being evaluated by doctors. 205 Live. Announcer Vic Joseph has joined Michael Cole and Renee for the rest of the show. We see the King of the Ring crown receptor on the stage. Ricochet and The Miz versus Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. Well, the action from that point got so boring, I fell asleep. Dirt sheet results. Ricochet and The Miz versus Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. Go to ring out first. Ricochet. Kozol said they hope to have Sasha Banks' interview still tonight. Miz is out next. Drew McIntyre is out first for his team, followed by Constable Corbin. Triple C. Constable Corbin. The bell rings and The Miz goes at it with McIntyre to start the match with King of the Ring competitors. Miz gets some offense in and tags in Ricochet for his double teaming. Ricochet unloads and tags back in Miz for his double teaming. Ricochet with a standing moonsault. Corbin and Drew get sent to the floor. Miz with a drop kick through the second rope. Ricochet runs the apron and nails the big moonsault from the ring post. Taking both opponents at ringside, Miz and Ricochet celebrate and stand tall over the opponents. We go to commercial. Back for the break, Corbin levels Miz and mounts him in the middle of the ring. With right hands, Corbin keeps control and tags in McIntyre. McIntyre goes to work on Miz and hits a big overhead throw for a 2 count. Miz fights up from the mat, but McIntyre nails a big clothesline. Corbin tags back in for a quick double team. Corbin toys with Miz and takes him to the corner. Miz fights out, hitting both opponents, but it catches up to him. McIntyre ends up hitting a big spine buster or another close pin attempt. McIntyre shows frustration as Ricochet reaches for the tag. Miz catches McIntyre with an EDG out of nowhere. Both are down as fans rally for Miz. Ricochet and Corbin tag in at the same time. Ricochet unloads. Ricochet with an enziguri and then a kick to send Drew back to the floor. Ricochet then keeps going and hits another shot on Drew. Ricochet ducks a clothesline from Corbin. Corbin blocks the kick, but eats it enziguri. Ricochet with another big drop kick to Corbin. It takes him down, to bring Corbin down. Ricochet with more kicks in the corner and a flying clothesline to bring him down again. Ricochet with a standing moonsault, but Drew breaks up the pin. Miz runs in. Drew fights them both off and levels Miz with a big boot. Drew grabs Ricochet and launches him across the ring. Drew waits for the Ricochet to get up. Ricochet blocks a Claymore kick with a super kick. Miz follows up with a skull crushing finale to Drew. Corbin comes and levels Miz. Corbin and Ricochet go back and forth again. Corbin catches Ricochet with a deep 6 for a close 2 count. Corbin shows frustration and argues with the referee. Fans are starting to chant, Corbin sucks now. Corbin takes Ricochet to the top, but fights off Corbin. Corbin with a missile drop kick. Corbin dodges in the corner and runs into the ring post as Miz pulls Ricochet to safety. Ricochet follows up with a recoil for the pin on Corbin to win the match. After the match, Ricochet and Miz celebrate as Ricochet's music hits. Still to come segment. Braun Strowman challenges AJ Styles back to commercial. Back to the ring, we see Sasha Banks taking a seat for an interview backstage. We go to the announcers, and Michael Cole welcomes Hall of Famer Booker T, joining live via Skype. Before the King of the Ring talk, Booker briefly talks about the Fiend taking out Jerry Lawler, and the Fiend being like a dog that needs to be put down. Booker talks about the King of the Ring now. It says winning it definitely puts a stamp on your career. Booker says it took his career to new heights. Kozol asks for his pick, and he picks. He will see King Drew McIntyre. Kozol thanks him, and Booker says goodbye to everyone. U.S. title match: Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles. I think I somewhat woke up for part of this match. Yeah, I did. That's all this match. I think it took like 6 or 7 minutes. We go to the ring. Out first comes Braun Strowman. We see how Braun returned last week to save Universal Champion Seth Rollins from the OC. Out next from the OC, U.S. Champion AJ Styles with Raw Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. In this corner, we got a replay of AJ post-Raw challenge to Braun last week. Bell rings, and Styles meets Braun in the middle of the ring. AJ talks trash and smacks Braun. Braun launches him into the corner, takes a few shots, and doubles AJ, sending him dazed to the floor and stumbling around. Braun runs out and chases AJ around the ring. Back in the ring, AJ unloads on Braun and re-enters. Referee's warning AJ. Braun grabs AJ for a choke slam, but AJ slides out. AJ looks to ring Braun down, but Braun overpowers him. More back and forth. Braun drops AJ and waits for him in the corner. Braun charges him and runs into a big boot. AJ ends up springboarding in with a phenomenal forearm attempt, but Braun just swats him out of midair with a shot to the chest. Braun scoops AJ up, but Gallows and Anderson hit the ring and attack him for disqualification. After the bell, double team continues on Gallows as Gallows levels Braun with a big boot to the face. Fans boo. Gallows and Anderson launch Braun's shoulder first into the ring post. Now, another big kick to the face. Another launch into the ring post. The beatdown continues until music interrupts. Out comes Universal Champion Seth Rollins to a pop. Braun unloads on Gallows and Anderson, clearing the ring as Strowman recovers. Fan chant, burn it down, as Rollins checks on Braun and they shake hands. Strowman isn't letting go of the handshake, and as Rollins starts to realize that, Strowman finally lets go and stares Rollins down, staring at his belt, and Rollins nodding at him. Rollins, somewhat confused, stares back as the music starts back up. Rollins looks out of the ring and taunts the OC. And in that segment, we see Samoa Joe walking backstage. Guess he's got a matchup coming next after commercial. Back for the break, Seth Rollins catches up with Braun Strowman backstage. Rollins says they've had each other's backs for the last 2 weeks, but he's not stupid. He knows what happened out there. Rollins says if it was up to him, Braun would be his next challenger. Rollins says he has respect for Strowman, but first they have business with the OC, and they need to handle. Rollins proposes that they challenge Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson tonight for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Fans in the arena pop. Rollins asks if Braun is down. He grunts and nods. Rollins heads off to get the match approved and says he will let Braun know. King of the Ring first round match, Samoa Joe versus Cesaro. We go to the ring, out comes Samoa Joe for the first round match of the 2019 King of the Ring tournament. We see the throne, crown, and scepter again displayed on stage. Cesaro is out next, as Mike Rome does the introduction. As Cesaro is wearing braces, that's why he's wearing the teeth brace, covering his braces. They air pre-recorded sidebar interviews with both superstars as they came out. Cesaro says the King of the Swing is now be known as the King of the Ring. Bell rings and Cesaro immediately charges Joe and does a huge running uppercut out of nowhere. Joe kicks out at 2. Cesaro goes to work, but Joe fights him off. They trade big strikes and Joe drops Cesaro with a big stiff elbow. Cesaro comes back with a corkscrew uppercut off the ropes for a pin attempt. Cesaro goes for Cesaro's swing, but he can't get it. Of course, the weight problem up for the first time. Joe fights up and drops Cesaro with strikes, sending him to the floor. Joe runs the ropes and nails the suicide dive, sending Cesaro over the barrier to the crowd. We go to commercial with Joe in control. Back for the break. They're smiling as they unload on each other with big, stiff strikes. Joe gets the upper hand and drops Cesaro. Joe keeps Cesaro grounded, and we see how Joe hit a big clothesline during the break. Joe keeps control and takes his time now, keeping Cesaro down. It goes for the senton, but Cesaro moves. Cesaro with more offense and a close 2 count. After with a big kick to the jaw, which the announcer did not say, did say to the jaw. It actually hit him on the shoulder. Coleslaw confirmed Rollins and Strowman versus Gallows and Anderson for tonight. Did say the match, but he didn't say for the title. Joe prevents a big slam from Cesaro, but he tries again and drops Joe with a gut wrench suplex. They continue to trade big strikes with more offense. Cesaro then drops Joe with a big uppercut and sends him to the floor. Cesaro runs around the ring and delivers another uppercut. Cesaro brings it back into the ring and goes to the top, hitting a crossbody. Joe kicks out at 2. Cesaro starts charging in the corner. Joe catches it with an Uranagi. Joe follows up with a senton for a close 2 count. More back and forth. Cesaro drops Joe with another strike and then delivers Cesaro's ring. Cesaro with a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring now. Cesaro turns that into the crossface. Back and forth continues until Joe catches Cesaro in a coquina clutch, and Cesaro taps out. Joe advances to the second round. After the match, Joe stares at Cesaro and gets back to his feet. Fan chant his name. Joe will now face the winner of next week's match between Ricochet and Drew McIntyre. Joe stands tall as his music hits, and now to show an updated look at the King of the Ring brackets. Still to come, Sasha Banks is here. Also, the New Day versus Revival. OC defends against Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman is your main event. Plus, King of the Ring continues with Sami Zayne and Cedric Alexander, which I did not see that match at all. We got a commercial. Back to the ring, we see how Jake Maverick tried to ambush 24/7 champion Elias in the recording studio a few weeks ago. We go to the ring. 24/7 champion Elias is out with his guitar. He starts speaking, and there's some audio difficulties. Bad feedback or something that keeps going off. Elias is giving a farewell musical performance tonight because his life is so busy. He had so much to lose. It's too risky. Now with the title, he starts playing, and then more technical difficulties. Well, I was thinking it was Bray Wyatt with his gimmick. That could possibly give me a good match. Lights come up, and it's R-Truth. Carmella is behind him. Carmella is behind him, so she did, was on Raw. Also in disguise, Truth rolls up Elias for 2 straight pin attempts. Also, the referee is there. Truth keeps the offense going and hits a scissor kick, but Elias still kicks out. Truth grabs one of the guitars and fans pop. Truth swings at Elias, but Elias retreats out of the ring. Still wearing the title, Elias backs up the ramp as Truth looks on from the ring. So the comes segment, New Day versus Revival. So, nothing more than that for the 24/7 championship this week. We see Rey Mysterio backstage, pacing, back to commercial. He's looking sad for his interview here. Back for the break, Rey Mysterio is backstage with Charlie Caruso. Rey thanks her for giving him his time and forum so he can let everyone know what's going on with him. He's about to make his retirement speech. But, here we go. Rey says he's been very fortunate. He has a beautiful family and has had a wonderful career. Rey says he's been wrestling since he can remember his uncle training him as a little boy. Rey has met people all over the world that he considers his friends, not just his fans. Rey says things just haven't been clicking for him lately, and what Andrade did by ripping his mask off was a disgrace. Rey goes on about how the biggest insult in the lucha world is to have the mask ripped off. Rey says what hurts the most is the fact that he hasn't been able to do anything about what Andrade did. He goes on and says he's now afraid that the injuries from his career have caught up with him. Rey takes deep breaths and gets choked up. Rey says now is the time to hang up the mask and let the new generation of superstars make their way in. Cue his son, Dominic, appearing and stops him for what he's saying. Dominic says Rey told him when he debuted he would be his partner. Dominic wants to be able to tell his children that he teamed with their grandfather, his dad, the great Rey Mysterio. Fans cheer in the arena. Dominic then tells his dad to stay in WWE and not do this. Don't retire because he's going to make Rey proud. Rey says it will do it. It will do it just because he loves his son. They hug to end the segment. New Day versus Revival was up next. We go to ring. Out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods of the New Day. Cole says that the Blue Brand Superstars are here under the wild card rules tonight. We get a replay from Tuesday's SmackDown main event. We saw Randy Orton and the Revival defeat the New Day in 6-man action. Out next comes Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. The Revival. Big E starts off with Dawson and unloads on him. Big E covers, but Dawson kicks out at 1. Wood tags in and double team Dawson in the corner. Big E flattens Dawson, and Wood covers for a pin attempt. Dawson fights Woods off and drops him. Dash tags in for the double teaming now, driving Woods face into knees. Dash with chops in the corner. Woods fights them off, but Dash turns it back around in another corner. Woods with a rolling elbow to Dash and as Dawson tagged in. Biggie comes into assist. New Day clotheslines the Revival over the top to the floor and stand tall as we go to commercial. Back for the break. Dawson runs up the top with Woods, but gets knocked back to the mat. Woods with a missile drop kick for a 2 count. As the fans rally for a tag to Big E. Big E and Dash tag at the same time. Big E with a belly throws on both opponents. Another to Dash. Big E dances over Dash and runs the ropes for a splash. Dawson then knocks Woods off the apron. Big E knocks Dawson off the apron and goes back to Dash, but Dash rocks him. Big E goes to spear Dash from the apron to the floor, but Randy Orton appears out of nowhere and drops Big E with an RKO out of nowhere for a disqualification finish. So New Day wins the match after Bell. The Revival are excited to have Orton with them. They all stand tall and look to continue to attack on the New Day, but Kofi Kingston runs down. Now your SmackDown champion and drops Orton. Kofi unloads on the Revival now until Orton drops him with a big RKO out in the middle of the ring. Revival and Orton triple team Woods and Kofi down now. Dash and Dawson drop Woods into a big assisted RKO by Orton. Orton isn't done. Dawson grounded Woods and holds him down as Dash prepares to deck him coming off the top. Orton stops him and drives Kofi over. Orton holds Kofi down and makes him watch as the Revival injures Woods' leg. Fans boo as Woods screams out in pain. Orton continues to hold Kofi down. Orton hits the turnbuckles to pose down as the Revival joins him as the moves continue. Still to come segment. Gallows and Anderson defend against Rollins and Strowman. We go to the announcer. The Coleslaw is joined by Sasha Banks, who is backstage. Coleslaw says, "This is an open forum," and asks if she wants to explain her actions from last week. The return and the attack to the Italian Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. I dozed back off during this part. Banks says, "This has been crazy, an emotional week for her. She wants to explain from the beginning. If Cole doesn't mind," Banks says last week, she looked in the mirror and told herself to lose her color. She points to her new hair, to her new blue hair, saying it's all over social media and how she's back with with new hair and she's hot. She says it's now time to show up and show out. She looks good and feels even better." Coleslaw says, "With all due respect, no one is talking about her blue hair, but they are talking about how she returned to attack Natalya and Lynch." Coleslaw asks why she picked last week to return to WWE. Banks goes to respond, but pauses. She just says, "You're welcome. That's it." That's it. Banks stands up and walks away. What's she doing? Wade Barrett? Or, Damian Sandow? Thing? Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Your tag team women's championship match. We go to ring. Out comes WWE Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for a non-title match. We go to commercial as they head to the ring. Back to the break. Out comes Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Cross starts off with Deville, but Bliss quickly comes back in. Deville attacks and takes Bliss down, unloading on her. Rose tags in to double team Bliss. Rose with a 2 count. Bliss counters a slam, but Rose knocks her back. Rose taunts Bliss now. Cross gets involved from the apron as Bliss has the referee distracted. Rose drops Cross on the floor, but Bliss comes back from behind and knocks Rose down on the outside. Bliss brings Rose back in for a 2 count. Cross and Bliss with more tags. And double teaming to Rose in the corner. Cross ragdolls Rose some and keeps her grounded. Cross with more offense before setting Rose in the corner. Bliss comes in for some double teaming. Rose finally drops Bliss with a big running knee to the face. Deville and Cross wait for tags. They get them, and Deville unloads on Cross, then hits her with a strike. Deville with a big knee to Cross. Cross sends Rose into the ring post. Cross turns around to a big spine buster from Deville. Bliss comes in, but Deville drops her. Cross takes advantage of the distraction and hits Cross neckbreaker on Deville for the non-title win. After the match, Cross and Bliss leaving the titles as Bliss's music hits. Rose checks on Deville in the ring. We see Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman backstage preparing for the main event. Braun is distracted by a Universal title belt. Rollins says he gets it, but they need to focus on tonight's match because they could leave as the Raw tag team with the tag team titles. Braun says he's focused, but Rollins needs to follow his lead so they can win the titles. King of the Ring first round match. Cedric Alexander versus Sami Zayn. Back for the break. Out comes Cedric for your next King of the Ring first round match. Sami was out next with the King of the Ring throne, robe, crown, scepter on the stage. Pre-recorded sidebar comments from Zayne and Cedric. Cedric before the match. Bell rings and Cedric attacks, but Sami fights him off. Sami takes it to the ropes and works Cedric over. Cedric fights back, but Sami takes him down for quick pin attempts. Sami keeps Cedric grounded in the middle of the ring now. Sami with more offense and another close 2 count. Sami can't believe the kick. He kicks out. Sami continues to pound on Cedric while he's down, keeping him grounded. Cedric fights up and out. Cedric with a big chop. Cedric counters a whip and delivers an elbow to the face. They run the ropes and Cedric starts to mount some offense. Cedric with a head scissor takedown and a drop kick. Cedric sends Sami to the floor. Cedric runs the ropes and leaps out, taking Sami down again. Cedric brings it back in the ring and hits a kick to kill. Cedric follows up with a lumbar check for the pin to advance to the next round. After the match, Cedric stands tall. With music hits, we go to replays. Coles also does the updated King of the Ring brackets. Cedric will now face the winner of The Miz versus Baron Corbin, which takes place next week. We go backstage to the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They're checking out their King of the Ring brackets. They talk more about the tournament, tonight's main event. They start shoving popcorns in their mouth. They have to go to commercial. OC's backstage. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson talking about how Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman don't deserve a title shot. AJ Styles says they are right, but this is a chance for the OC to prove their greatness, to prove that Rollins and Strowman are no match for the OC. AJ says that they are the original and only club that matters. They do the too sweet sign to end the segment. Natalya's backstage with her arm in a sling. She just came from the doctor 1 week since opening her heart to the WWE Universe. Natalya expected this to be the emotional week, but she did not expect Sasha Banks. Natalya gets choked up and goes on about Banks being her friend, one of her closest friends. And that's why she cannot wrap her head around Banks trying to hurt her while she was vulnerable. Fans in the arena give Natalya the wet treatment. Natalya says she saw Banks tonight and she just smirked at her. Banks suddenly attacked out of nowhere and destroyed Natalya, beating her down and talking trash. She smashes the injured arm in a production case drawer. Banks tells Natalya to go to hell and tell her father hello. Banks walks off and a sapper checks on Natalya. And your tag team main event. First out comes Seth Rollins. Braun Strowman comes out, marches to the ring. Strowman poses for the crowd as we go back to commercial. Back for the ring, out comes the OC. U.S. champion AJ Styles out follow with his music. He awaits the Raw Tag Team champions. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson come out next to their music. OC heads to the ring together. We get a formal ring introduction from Mike Rome before the match. Bell rings and Braun meets Gallows in the middle of the ring. Strowman follows back, shoves back, and they go at it. Strowman unloads early on and levels Gallows with a big shoulder. Waller tags in and leaps off the top, while Braun holds Gallows. Rollins still has his ribs shaped up. Gallows turns around and sends Rollins into the corner. Anderson joins in and comes in off of a tag. Anderson beats Rollins down in the corner as AJ cheers him on from ringside. Rollins fights back and clotheslines Anderson. More back and forth now. Rollins ends up dropping Anderson off the apron, then leaping off the apron with a knee to Gallows' head. Rollins is distracted by AJ for a second. This leads to Gallows and Anderson engaging Rollins on the outside next. Gallows drops Rollins' injured ribs over the barrier a few times. We go to commercial with Rollins down on the outside. Back for the break, Rollins kicks Anderson to get an opening. Then Gallows on the apron. Anderson catches Rollins with a spine buster for a 2 count. Anderson keeps control and climbs up in the corner for a superplex. Rollins fights him off and sends him to the mat. Anderson runs into a big boot. Rollins comes off the top with a blockbuster. Fans rally for Braun to make the tag. Gallows tags in and stops Rollins from reaching him. Gallows chokes Rollins on the ropes as the referee warns him. AJ approaches Rollins at ringside, but Braun stops him. Gallows comes from behind and shoves Braun into the ring post. Gallows drops Braun again, returns to the ring, and Rollins super kicks him. Rollins looks to tag, but Braun is down on the outside. Rollins with a sling blade to Gallows. Rollins takes turns running wild on both opponents. Gallows counters, and Rollins sends him over the top to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes and hits a suicide dive to Gallows. Sending him into the barrier, Rollins returns to the ring with a Falcon Arrow on Anderson for a 2 count. Anderson and Rollins trade shots now. As I wake up and catch the remaining of the match, Rollins goes to the top, but AJ shoves him off as Anderson has the referee distracted. Gallows tags in for a double team slam to Rollins. Rollins kicks out at 2. Gallows can't believe it. Gallows and Anderson talk trash, but Rollins fights him off the Magic Killer. Anderson decks him, and they double team him now. Gallows holds Rollins on the outside as AJ prepares to deck him, while Anderson has the referee distracted. Braun runs out of nowhere and runs over AJ. Then Gallows to save Rollins. Rollins finally counters, and Anderson counters Anderson in the ring and gets the hot tag to Braun. Braun runs wild on Anderson. Then Gallows, as he comes in, Strowman goes on and hits a running power slam to Anderson in the middle of the ring. AJ runs in, but Rollins stops him with a stomp. Strowman covers Anderson for the win, and they win the tag team titles. After the match, Strowman and Rollins stand tall and take their titles as music plays. As the crowd pops, the OC is now happy. We go to replays, come back to Strowman and Rollins posing for the crowd as Braun's music hits. Rollins and Strowman head to the stage to pose with the titles as the pops continue from the crowd. They raise their arms, and Strowman grabs the Universal title belt while in the air. They're both holding the belt. Rollins and Strowman exchange a look, and some tension starts up as Raw goes off the air at that point. Dark main event after Raw from this week. From the XL Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, saw Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch retain her title over Lacey Evans. Lynch came out after Boyfriend and Universal Champion Seth Rollins celebrated their Raw Tag Team wins with Braun Strowman to close the Raw broadcast. The OC was still making their exits from ringside, which led to Lynch and AJ Styles having words at the bottom of the ramp. Lynch went on to spend 10 to 15 minutes greeting fans at ringside following her win over Evans. And that concludes my Raw and WWE main event results for this week. I'll see you one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.